Hello friends. In today's video, we are talking about the 1966 Washington quarter with no mint mark from the United States. Some people online claim this coin is worth up to $150,000. But is that true? Let's go through everything in simple steps: what the coin looks like, why there is no mint mark, what kind of errors can happen, and what this coin is really worth today. You might be surprised by how much people think it's worth, but we will give you the real facts. Let's start by looking at the coin. This coin is part of the Washington Quarter series. That series started in 1932 and is still being made today. On the front of the coin, you will see a picture of George Washington, who was the first president of the United States. Around his head, you will see the words, "Liberty, in God we trust," and the year, 1966. On the back side of the coin, there is a bald eagle with its wings spread wide. The eagle is standing on a bunch of arrows, and below that, you can see olive branches. Around the eagle are the words, United States of America, e pluribus unum, and, quarter dollar. The coin is made of 75% copper and 25% nickel. It is about 24.3 millimeters wide, and it weighs about 5.67 grams. Usually, U.S. coins have something called a mint mark. This tells you where the coin was made. P stands for Philadelphia, D is for Denver, and S is for San Francisco. But the 1966 quarter has no mint mark at all. So why is that? The reason is because of something called the Coinage Act of 1965. This law changed how coins were made. Before 1965, quarters were made of silver. But after the law, the silver was removed, and quarters were made with copper and nickel instead. At the same time, the U.S. Mint also stopped putting mint marks on coins from 1965 to 1967. This was done to stop people from saving or hoarding coins based on where they were made. The government wanted people to spend their coins instead of keeping them. So, if your 1966 quarter has no mint mark, that's completely normal. It does not make the coin rare or special on its own. In fact, over 821 million quarters were made in 1966. That's a very large number, which makes it a very common coin. Now let's talk about what this coin is really worth. If you find one in your change and it's been used a lot, it is still only worth 25 cents. If the coin looks new and shiny and was never used, it is called uncirculated. These might be worth around $1 to $5, depending on the condition. If a coin is in very high quality and has been graded by a professional company like PCGS or NGC, it might be worth more. For example, a 1966 quarter graded MS66 or MS67 could sell for about $50 to $300. One special 1966 quarter, graded MS68, sold for about $21,000 in an auction. But this is extremely rare. Only a few coins ever get that perfect condition. Most coins, even in great shape, are not worth anywhere near that much. So where does the $150,000 value come from? Some websites, videos, or online sellers claim that the 1966 quarter with no mint mark is worth $150,000. But this is not true. There is no record of anyone paying that much for a 1966 quarter. These are most likely false listings, just made to get attention or views. Always be careful about very high coin prices online, especially if they are not backed by real experts or sales history. Now let's talk about something real, coin errors. Sometimes when coins are made, mistakes happen at the mint. These are called mint errors, and they can make a coin worth more. These errors are much more valuable than regular coins because they are rare. One kind of error is when the coin is struck on the wrong planchet. A planchet is the blank metal disc that becomes the coin. If a quarter is struck on a smaller planchet, like one meant for a dime or a penny, that coin can be valuable. A 1966 quarter struck on a dime planchet can be worth about $400 to $600. If it was struck on a penny planchet, it could be worth between $600 and $900. Another kind of error is called a double die. This happens when the coin design is stamped onto the blank more than once, but not in the exact same place. You might see doubled letters or numbers. These coins are very popular with collectors. A double die error can be worth anywhere from $100 to several $1,000s, depending on how strong the doubling is and how good the coin looks. There's also something called an off-center strike. This happens when the blank coin is not placed in the machine correctly. Part of the design is missing or pushed to the side. A coin that is 10% or 20% off-center might be worth $50 to $150. If it is 50% off-center or more, it could sell for $200 to $500. You can also find errors called clipped planchets. This happens when a piece of the coin is cut off before it is stamped. The coin will look like it has a chunk missing. These errors can be worth $50 to $200. It depends on how big and clean the clip is. Another error is called a double strike. This is when the coin is struck twice instead of once. If the second strike is off-center, it can look strange and be worth more. These types of errors can be worth $100 to $1,000 or more, depending on how dramatic the error is and what condition the coin is in. All of these errors are real, and collectors will pay more for them. But they are also rare. If you think you have a 1966 quarter that looks strange or has one of these errors, it's a good idea to get it looked at by a coin expert. But remember, just being from 1966 and having no mint mark is not enough to make it valuable. That part is normal. So, let's review the real values for the 1966 quarter. A normal, used one is worth 25 cents. A shiny one in uncirculated condition might be worth $1 to $5. A very high-grade coin might be worth $200 to $400. One of the best graded coins ever sold for $21,000. Real error coins can be worth $500 to $6,000 or more, depending on the type of error. But a 1966 quarter selling for $150,000? That's not real. That's just something people say on the internet without any proof. If you want to collect coins or sell one, make sure you use trusted coin websites or talk to experts. You can also look at auction sites where coins have really sold. That will give you a better idea of what your coin is truly worth. Never trust a price just because someone says it online. And please do not clean your coin, even if it looks dirty. Cleaning can damage the coin and make it worth less. It's always better to leave it the way it is. Each coin has its own history, its own design, and its own market value. The 1966 quarter is a good example of how a coin can seem rare because it looks different, but really, it is common unless there is a real mint error or perfect condition. It's fun to look through your change and see if you can find something special. You never know, you might find a rare error coin without even realizing it. Just remember to do your research and check if it's real. That's it for today's video. I hope you learned something new about the 1966 Washington quarter. If you enjoy learning about coins or want more simple and honest coin facts, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We share easy-to-understand videos to help you learn more about coins, their values, and what to look for. And don't forget to check your pocket change, you might have something cool and valuable just waiting to be discovered. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.